Fran Williams.
Hi girls, thank you very much for having me. Very excited to be here, and particularly on your last day of term. It's super exciting and special for me that I get to be your kind of send-off before Christmas, and hopefully you've got some great questions and I can give you some insight into my journey as an England netballer and how I've got to now getting to represent my country and playing elite level netball and professional netball for England. So if you do have any questions, please ask away and I will tell you all about how I got into playing netball, because I hear you're all keen netballers doing really well with your training and games here, so that's really exciting. So hopefully I can inspire you and offer some words of wisdom. Great question to start us off. How do I find playing in front of big audiences? I think when I was younger and I first started playing for England, I was 20 when I got my first appearance. I was very scared because it's a lot of people, it definitely builds up the pressure. But I was very fortunate that my first time on court for England was at home. So it was in London at the Copper Box, where I've played lots before. So the fans are all there to support you, and I think we remember that when we're playing, that they're all here to be on our team and our extra player on our squad, and they're helping us get over the line. So when I'm tired, feeling out of breath, and they're shouting and cheering for you on, it definitely gives you that extra edge and push to keep going. So yeah, you've just got to remember that they're there and they're on your side. Ellie, best advice I've ever been given. Okay, so I think some of the best advice, and Laura Malcolm, who is in the England squad, has often says this and reminds us to make sure that we're making memories and enjoying the journey, because we do a lot of hard training. We spend a lot of time on training camps, a lot of times doing fitness and in the gym. And you need to make sure that you enjoy the whole process, because playing 60 minutes of netball is just the icing on the cake and the best bit, and getting to represent your country. But that doesn't happen all the time. Every day you're not doing that. So you've got to remember that that is the aim, the end goal and your aim, but making sure that we're staying together as a team, creating lots of memories, enjoying that journey, because I think it makes us work harder, and it definitely makes our connections on court and as a squad a lot stronger. So when I was younger, I played a massive range of sports. So I was one of those keen people at school. I wanted to be involved in hockey, tennis, do athletics in the summer. I just loved playing sport. But I think with netball, I always loved the team element of it and the fact that I had really good friends there. And I think that made me stay in the sport for a lot longer because I could go and socialise with my friends. But also what I love about netball is it involves such a range of skills. Like, you have to be fit, you've got to be fast, you've got to be able to jump. But it's not just a physical sport, it's a mental sport as well. We spend a lot of time doing tactics and video analysis as well. So that helps us to kind of be better at our game. So it involves such a range of skills, and I think that's why I like it. But great question. How often do I train? So we go on training camps a lot with England. So we spend a lot of time living in Loughborough, training in the gym as well as on court. So probably in the gym about 4 times a week, and on court another 4 times a week, because we've got to do a lot of strength and fitness training too to support our bodies so that we're in great shape to be able to do all the netball training. Who's my role model? So on court, I would say one of my role models is Youve Mentor, who has just retired from England Netball. But I think when I was coming through the pathway and first starting to get into England, she was a defender I always looked up to. I think she's broken down so many barriers in the sport, in the way that she went about playing the game and going professional early in her career. And I love the smarts that she plays with on court. And when I first got to play with her, that was the hugest honour. I came out the changing room screaming to my mum, I got to play with Youve Mentor. So she is someone I always looked up to. But away from the court, I would say my family, so my mum and my sister in particular, are huge supports, and not just physically in terms of my mum driving me to training and things like that when I was younger, but definitely mentally and emotionally. They're always those people for me away from netball that I can go and talk to, and will support me no matter what. Even if I've had a bad game, I've won, I've lost, they're always there for me, and I think that's definitely what you need, those kind of people. Okay, so I started playing netball when I was 11 years old at Woodley Netball Club in Berkshire. So I started playing at school, and then the coach at school that was doing the after school club said, oh, you should go down to your local club, Woodley, they're a really good team, and I think you've got real potential to be a good netballer. And so that's why I went down, and I made lots of friends at my first club. So that's a great question. I think I didn't really know until I started kind of just getting selected for the next stage. I think I started playing and I just enjoyed it. And then I realised I was super competitive. So when I was about 13, 14 and my team were in a league and we were winning each weekend, I was like, oh, I love the feeling of winning. I want to win again. And I think that kind of ambition and competitivity within me definitely came out from a young age, and I just wanted to be the best player I could be. And so when I would get selected into county, then I was like, I want the next thing, I want to go to regional. And then I was like, oh, it'd be great to play for England. And I think for myself, watching other people playing in the Super League and watching England netball and going to games inspired me that I could do that one day. So that's why it's great to be here with you today, because I think it's really important that we show you that these things are possible. And if you keep working hard and training and you really want it, you can definitely make it happen. Great question. So I'd say Jiva Mentor's definitely up there as defensive players that I've had the privilege of playing in the circle with. She's just so clever, and she taught me a lot about how to kind of defend differently and make sure that we're constantly staying off the body and confusing those feeders with where to pass the ball, I guess. In terms of toughest opposition against, I'd struggle to look past my own teammates in Helen Housby, also Nat Haythornthwaite, Nat Metcalf, sorry now. They're both so fast and clever with the way they play the game. And I'd also say Gretel Bueta, who's an Australian shooter. She's pretty up there with one of the best international netballers that we've had, and she's definitely always given a tough game. Yeah, definitely. So I've spoken a bit about my journey and going and getting selected for, from county to regional and into England, but it's important to know that I've not had just an easy path. So I've not always just been picked for everything, and I've not always won everything. Like, there's times when I've not made it into the England squad, and last summer I didn't make it into the Commonwealth Games team, but then I got to go to the World Cup this summer. So after that, obviously I'm really sad, and it's disappointing to not make a team, and you want to be there and have that honour to represent your country, but you're not always going to be the best player. And however hard I worked, you need to remember that there's always little things that you can do to be better. So obviously I let myself be a little bit sad about it, but then I was straight away, okay, how can I improve? How can I be a better netballer to get myself in that team? And I think sometimes not being selected and not making the team made me realise how much I wanted it. And I spoke about being competitive, and that setback definitely made me motivated to want to go again and work even harder. And there's always little things that you can fix up on your game, and I think this season at Loughborough Lightning and through the England camps I really trained hard and focused on those elements of my game that definitely needed some work, and tried to improve how I could perform and get myself in that squad this summer. And I think as well it's important to remember that those setbacks definitely will help you be a better player, because I think if I hadn't have had that, maybe I wouldn't have worked on those things as hard as I did this year, and then been able to achieve what we did this summer. Thank you. Great questions. I was impressed with the questions.